Hello, say chat up. Bullying is a word that has become common among our current concerns, but it has been a subject studied by anthropology and also sociology for a long time. There are several definitions, but in this conversation, we will consider bullying as the behavior that happens when one person tries to dominate another, usually by public humiliation. And this is a behavior that can be seen among children in schools, but also among adults in companies and social networks and practically everywhere where there are several human beings living and interacting together. Bullying is an imbalance of power when one person tries to seize power in a way that makes you feel diminished and the bully gets on top. And the more you show your agony, the more you suffer, the more you get angry, the more you try to fight back without success, the more the bully has fun. Therefore, if you suffer or if you have suffered from bullying, understanding this behavior as a type of a power struggle can help you to find effective solutions to stop or overcome bullying. You are not special. Bullying is common. It happens in almost every culture and to more people than you can imagine. I suffered bullying as a teenager and I also know several friends who also suffered it. Therefore, you should not be thinking that this behavior is something that only happens to you. If you think that bullying is only affecting you, you may start to believe that there is something wrong with you and that you deserve being mocked. However, when you reframe this situation, understanding that bullying is present in several places, you come to understand that it is your responsibility to do something about it so as to not continue being abused. Once you understand that you're not special just because you're bullied, then the next step is to find solutions to avoid or even overcome bullies. And the first solution to bullying is to ignore it. When someone tries to humiliate us, our instinctive reaction is to fight it. We try to humiliate back. We try to engage in physical or verbal aggression. We even try to pretend that we don't care, but it is difficult to hide our feelings. This first instinctive reaction is just what the bully wants. They want to see us shaken to make the humiliation even greater. And this makes those who practice bullying feel more dominant, more powerful. The first way out is to ignore bullying altogether. You see, I didn't say pretend to be ignoring, but really ignore it. This is much easier said than done, to completely ignore bullying so that any word or attitude of the other person doesn't get to you. You will need a lot of self-confidence, a great sense of internal value. There is an old story about a samurai who asks a disciple, if someone comes to you with a gift and you don't accept it, who does the gift belong to? So the disciple replies, well, the gift still belongs to whomever tried to give it to us. And then the samurai teaches, the same goes for envy, anger, and insults. When they are not accepted, they still belong to whomever carried them. You can understand bullying as a game between winning and losing, and the way to win is to not care about the provocations, because what the bully wants is a reaction from you. If you don't react, maybe he will go away bored. However, there is also the possibility that your lack of reaction is considered a passive posture, and this further increases bullying. Soon we will see what to do in this situation, which is when you need to draw limits on what you don't accept. But before that, let's look at how to ignore bullying from a position of confidence. The best way to ignore a bully is to increase your self-confidence. The bullying that hurts the most is the one that affects our self-esteem. If someone picks up a weak point of ours, it's going to be very difficult to ignore it. The way out, then, is to reduce our weaknesses, and this is done by increasing our self-confidence. Create a network of positive people who can appreciate you for who you are, with your strengths and your weaknesses. Look for people with similar interests. Stay with these people, and then you'll see that the bully will have less courage to keep pestering you. The person you talk to can be a peer, or can be someone older, a relative, can be a teacher, a therapist. Tell people what's going on. Don't keep hiding it. And to increase your self-confidence, you need to work on your personal development. You need to know yourself better. You need to list your strengths and be aware that you have qualities and flaws just like everyone else. A good way to resist impulses and not react instinctively is to practice mindfulness meditation. If you are bullied and you feel that wave of anger or tears coming, take a deep breath, counting to 3 between each inhalation and exhalation. Keep doing this until you feel calm enough to continue. Just looking after the mind may not be enough. You may also need to take care of the way of how you behave physically and the way you talk to others. Improve your body language. Learn martial arts, do weightlifting, CrossFit, or any other exercise that improves your physical condition. The intention here is not to be attacking other people, but just to improve your body language. Weak body language shows that you are afraid, and this invites the bully to consider you an easy target. If your body language is displaying weakness, of course it is not your fault, but it is your responsibility to change this. Now, what is a body language of weakness? It is when your facial expressions, your posture, or even your voice communicate that you feel inferior. Let's take a closer look at each of these elements. The face shows many signs of fear. Eyebrows raised and a tense mouth slightly open. Our body's muscles become tense and with our postures as if we want to protect ourselves, protect our vital organs as if we're bending over. When we're feeling restless or under threat, we move more quickly, more abruptly. We have an evasive glance, we blink more frequently and faster, and we hide our hands. We try to close our fists. And to avoid all of this, take care of your body. Play sports. Improve your posture. Use power poses with your shoulders back, your chest forward, your head up, but of course, in a natural way. Speak more assertively. If you are a victim of the way you express yourself, learn assertive communication, oratory, logic of argumentation. Assertiveness is a particular way of communicating with others that is direct and honest, but also respectful. An assertive communicator knows what they think, what they want, and they're not afraid to ask directly. Learning assertive communication takes time, but you can practice expressing your needs and expectations, and you can master this very powerful form of communication. See, we are now living in a world that is so fast, and we have less and less time available. And this can make you feel encouraged to speak faster. And one of the problems with talking too fast is that you don't reflect very well, and you end up transmitting very confused messages, rushed messages. You can slow down your communication, so you can better choose the words that you use to express your opinions and your thoughts. Talking too fast can convey the idea that you're afraid of being interrupted, and therefore you need to speak quickly to get it over with. Speaking slowly indicates that you're not afraid of this type of interruption. Now, if you want to practice, you can grab a book and start reading out loud, paying attention to your voice. Do the same reading several days slowly, and you'll find that this practice makes you calmer and helps you to transmit more security and assertiveness. Draw clear boundaries. This is a special tip for anyone who has tried to ignore it and realized that ignoring made things worse. For you, the most important tip of all is that you urgently need to learn to draw the boundaries of what is not tolerable in your life. Now, first of all, I want to remind you that we're here talking about bullying and not about situations in which crime occurs, such as assault or injury or slander or defamation. Crime is something that you're going to solve through the legal system. Now, in the case of bullying, what causes agony is so many people have the false impression that there is no way to formalize a complaint. But there's always a context with rules. Your apartment building has condominium rules. The school has a code of behavior. Your company has a human resources department. When you are unable to resolve the abuse directly using your assertive communication about your limits and what you do not tolerate, then you can involve other people, those who are responsible to and who have the power to punish the abused behavior. The bully is often calculating. They know the right time to attack, and when there is nobody watching, nobody looking, and most of the times when you react, the person who is punished is you, and they just laugh, rejoicing in their impunity. Because of this, you also need to remain calm and plan your actions well. You do not need to report the abuse immediately if you are in some altered emotional state. Let your anger pass. Consider all the elements that are necessary to be able to file a complaint and all the evidence that you need. And then you can draw the line and take control of your life. Bullying is a problem that affects children, young people, and adults everywhere in the world. Extreme cases can lead to physical aggression and serious psychological damage. The best way to deal with the problem is to work on your own personal development, to become a more confident person, to be able to simply ignore the bully, to take the appropriate steps to avoid and to overcome the problem. One of the aspects that most helps in overcoming this is the ability to communicate effectively, both to draw limits with the bully and also to report the problem to the people who can solve the abuses. If you want to learn how to communicate more assertively, I invite you to visit our assertiveness course, How to Say No, by accessing arata.se/how to say no.